Finally, this morning, Secretary Blinken participated in a virtual meeting of NATO foreign ministers to discuss the ongoing security and humanitarian situation in Afghanistan, as well as our joint efforts with NATO allies and other partners to safely evacuate our citizens and our Afghan allies who may be at risk. The allies agreed that any future government must adhere to Afghanistan's international obligations, safeguard the human rights of all Afghans, and that includes, of course, women, children, and minorities, uphold the rule of law, allow unhindered humanitarian access, and ensure that Afghanistan never again serves as a safe haven for terrorism. Secretary Blinken also conveyed his deep appreciation for Allied sacrifices and commitment over 2 decades alongside us in Afghanistan, as well as our enduring commitment to the alliance going forward. One additional element before we get to your questions. Today, in concert with the United Kingdom, the United States is imposing additional costs on the Russian Federation on the 1-year anniversary of the poisoning of Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny, which of course was used with a Novichok nerve agent. Together with our allies, we condemn the August 2020 attempt on Alexei Navalny and subsequent actions intended to stop his efforts to hold the Russian government accountable, including his imprisonment in January of this year. It's clear that Russian officials targeted Mr. Navalny for his activism and efforts to reveal what are uncomfortable truths about Russian officials' corruption and his efforts to give voice to Russian citizens' legitimate grievances with their government and its policies. Our actions today, which were exercised by the U.S. Departments of State, Treasury, Justice, and Commerce, send a clear signal that there will be no impunity for the use of chemical weapons, including for the individuals and the organizations involved in this case. Any use of chemical weapons is unacceptable and contravenes international norms. The United States calls upon Russia to comply with its obligations under the Chemical Weapons Convention. We reiterate our call for the Russian government to immediately and unconditionally release Mr. Navalny. The department also submitted a report to Congress today pursuant to the Protecting Europe's Energy Security Act of 2019, or PISA, as we call it, to continue to address Nord Stream 2. As a result, 2 Russian entities will be sanctioned and 2 Russian vessels will be listed as blocked property. As we have said, the administration continues to oppose Nord Stream 2 as a bad deal for Ukraine and a bad deal for Europe and a harmful Russian geopolitical project. We remain committed to implementing PISA, even as we take steps to reduce the risk an operational NS2 pipeline would pose to European energy security and the security of Ukraine and frontline NATO and EU countries. With today's action, the administration has now sanctioned 7 persons and identified 16 of their vessels as blocked property pursuant to PISA in connection with this Nord Stream 2 project. The administration continues to work with Germany, with Ukraine, and other allies and partners to implement the July 21st joint statement that we agreed to with Germany on support for Ukraine, energy security, and our climate goals. Today's actions send a clear signal to Russia that the United States is united in our commitment to impose costs on Russia for its aggression and malign activities, and to support a more secure and sustainable energy future for Ukraine and our partners in Europe. With that, I don't know where to begin.